Let the cards run around, the stories we have found. In the shadows we dance, take a chance, take a chance. Ghostly figures, guiding light.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Maureen and Angelina and Jenny and the entire universe and everything in it and blah, 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 blah. So I hope everybody's having that amazing morning. So I'm gearing myself up this weekend. I will be doing Fire and Ice in Frederick. So I'll be at Brand Art Yoga, and it's a weekend event. It's Friday night and Saturday, where all of Frederick, they're going to have their vendors, some people sitting outside the freezing cold, but there's going to be music, there's going to be events and things like that. So, and I'm going to be doing special priced tarot at Brand Art. So I'm all excited by that because I love doing this stuff. So, but what are we doing now? We are using an excuse to just take a breath. Listening to the cards like they're the sounds of the ocean. Which reminds us we can stop, take a breath, slow down, which is what I need to do in the mornings. And other people have told me that they like having a break in the morning and having that reminder that it's okay if we put our feet flat on the floor, get comfortable, roll the ankles, have our butts do the kitty dance to get it comfortable, check our shoulders. How's our necks doing? And taking that breath, shifting gears, saying, I'm not just going to take about 15 minutes and just focus on what the universe has to say, share a tarot reading. And see what thoughts come up for the day. So, what do we have for today? I got a little bit of a cold, so when I breathe deep, excuse me, it reminds me that I'm breathing deep. Somebody asked me about my method of shuffling, how I shuffle, and I always do the dink, dink, dink thing. And that came about because when shuffling, especially with bridge shuffling, again, I like to not know anything about the cards. And so when I do that, you can see what card's on the bottom. But when I do this, I take the bottom and I do that and I do that. Now we don't know what's there. So that is why it's just a personal thing where it's like turning the cards over one at a time. I just like to not have any foreknowledge. So, what am I going to do here then? Take that extra breath, and I'm going to make our 3 stacks. It's like each one is a different thread going out to the universe. It's like each one's a different thought or idea. And if we believe in the multiverse, it's like each one of these is a different path. Because this stack will lead down one path. This stack is a different path. And this stack will take us down a totally different conversation. So at Brand Art, I'll be doing readings. Good morning, Jenna. So at Brand Art on Friday and Saturday, I'll be doing readings. I'll be doing 1 card, 2 card, and 4 card readings, since it's an event and people will be coming in and out. And then on the 22nd, I have it on my website now, I will be giving a class at Frederick Cups at the Unitarian Church. I'll be doing the minors. And then I'm also going to be doing a class at Brand Art. So, Mr. Jen, I haven't talked to you in a while. So, with that breath, I'm going to take the center stack, or what I like to think of as what's right at the heart. And I'm going to do hour, 3, and 1. And I'll flip each card over one at a time like we're reading the pages of a book. And the first card. We haven't seen this card in a while. It is the Tower. If you watch Hollywood movies, it's called the Tower of Destruction. It means death, destruction, mutilation, horror. It's all kind. Well, hold on for a second. Actually, it says La Maison Deux. It doesn't say the tower, does it? So what does that mean? Well, this is actually the lightning struck tower. And the lightning is the light of truth. And so when we see the tower, it's not about death, destruction, and things like that. It's one of those things where I often ask people, and y'all have heard this before, but when the tower pops up, I like to ask people, what's the one thing that hurts worse than a lie? So what is the one thing that hurts worse than a lie? And that's the truth. Because the truth can bring down kingdoms, destroy families. So when the tower pops up and we have that discussion, do we want to know the truth? Because sometimes people prefer to live in the tower and just not deal with it. But eventually, things are going to have to come out. And yet, it can be painful, but when the tower comes down, at least we can build a solid foundation, right? So this is a reflection on those things that we've kept from ourselves, kept from others, or things that we are learning. Do I like my job? Do I want to do what I'm about to do? It's those things where we have that thought of, do I or don't I? Did they or didn't they? Should I or shouldn't I? So think about those things like that as we go into the next card, which is the Emperor. So this is the ultimate adulting card, and he's been popping up a lot lately. The Emperor is when we are taking charge of things. It's like when emotions are not going to carry the day. We need to make sure that our kingdoms are taken care of, the bills are paid. We need to make sure that the populace is fed, so we still cook dinner. We need to make sure that everything is taken care of, especially if we have some revelation. It's like, it could be that feeling just by reading the newspaper. But we have our options with the Emperor. We have our options on how we want to take care of it. It's not like we just want to bury our heads in the sand. The Emperor is about seeing things just like he's doing and facing it head on as he prepares for the next card, which is the 10 of Wands. So wands are fire, energy, creativity. There are passions. But when we get 10 wands, one wand is an idea. That's a single idea. 2 wands, we're making choices. 4 wands are the 4 legs on the table. But again, we're carrying these wands. And so when we're holding 7 wands, we're weighing ourselves down. 8 wands. By the time we get to 10 wands, 10 wands is where we can finally say, you know what, pain is the motivator. I'm going to do something different. Or it's time to realize that we need to do a change. A 10 is nothing but a 1 and a 0. A 10 is the last one, which means we are preparing for a new cycle. So it looks like we see this, and it's like we have Le Maison Deux, we have the Tower, we have the Emperor. None of these are emotional cards or anything like that. This is what we need to do. Often with the 10 of Wands, I personally believe it's because we forget sometimes that we don't need to carry all 10 wands at the same time. Sometimes we can ask somebody to help us. I'll take 5 if you can take 5. Or accepting help. Somebody might be saying, why don't you give me some of those and I'll help you? The 10 of Wands is often one of those cards where if I don't do it, who will? Right? And that's the burden of the Emperor. If I don't do it, who will? It's kind of isolating. But it's us preparing for the next chapter. But let's see what the advice card is. And the advice card is the 7 of Swords. So today this is a true recognition of any anxieties or any feelings that we have. It's about recognizing them and validating it. What we feel is validated and true. The advice card is the 7 of Swords. So swords are our thoughts, our ideas, and sometimes our anxiety. And 7s are all about progress and moving forward. 7, we're so close to 10. I mean, 7, we start with 1. We start with our idea, and then we start moving with it. And if we have a project at work, it's something like that, and we're almost, we have a ways to go still. But when we get to the 7 of Swords, sometimes this is when, when we're stressed, when things are going on, we're not getting enough sleep. This is the card that I always give the example of halt. Don't go hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. Halt. Because when we go hungry, angry, lonely, or tired, when we are given stress, when we are given, when we feel that anxiety the most is when we are going hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. And sometimes with the 7 of Swords, we may do things we normally wouldn't. We may take a shortcut. This is the card that says, what was I thinking? Why did I do that? And that's not me. Oh my gosh, or we think it's like, what do I need to do? It's just, and sometimes, again, it's just, what was I thinking? So today, as we think back, thinking about the things that are our stressors, things that are stressors, we take a look at the 2 majors here, which is Le Maison Deux, the Tower, and the Emperor, which is about how we deal with it. The Emperor has been given the advice that says, Emperor, are you taking care of yourself as well as your kingdom? Are you doing what you need to do to stay mentally on top of things? And if we do, then that's a reminder that as a king, we can delegate, or we can say, I'm going to do what's important first, or we can say, it's time for a new chapter, and I'm putting it down before I do something dumb. So what do we got here? Maureen, wake up and smell the coffee kind of morning. Time to get stuff done. Yeah, exactly. But not all at once on your own. Procrastination is the thief of time. Yes. So, yeah, today's just that day where it's, if we can recognize and validate the stress that we're feeling, we can see it for what it is as the Emperor. We can make plans for it so that we can try and have a good day, because these are the minor cards. These are the day-to-day cards. We don't have to live in the 10 of Wands. If we are prepared to start that new chapter with the recognition of, I need to just pay attention to my own mental health and focus on doing the next right thing, then we're ready to start the new chapter. And thank you, Angelina. Yeah, that cold's been just hanging there. So I hope everybody has that amazing day today. I hope everybody has the amazing evening or wherever you happen to be. Take care of yourself. If you're in any kind of environment like I'm in right now where it's in the teens, stay warm. And I am excited as always to be back here tomorrow. And I'm going to really, next time I start doom scrolling or looking at bills and stuff, I'm going to think about this spread today so that I don't get myself in a position. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you tomorrow.
Stars in the sky, cards in my hand, searching for signs, lost in the sand. Whispers of fate, echoes of dreams in the dark.